So got that shield, gains 30 armor and MR for the rest of combat. Really good for, like, you can put it on some assassins, you can put it on your melee team like your warriors, however you want to do it, but basically get that to proc pretty early, give the rest of your team some armor and MR. Can be a lot of power. So, and they do stack, by the way. You can stack these items. So Protector's Vow should be fun, and hopefully a lot healthier and more fun to build than Frozen Heart. So there's some other adjustments. The only other really one I wanted to highlight with a picture is Sphere of Shojin. Sphere of Shojin always felt like this item that, like, you felt like you had to build to get your Ao Shen to cast, but it felt bad because you lost out on the potential damage. And so it was, like, kind of frustrating to be in that situation. So a lot of the times we found players just skipping the Sphere of Shojin, praying they could get that, and what ended up happening is Sphere of Shojin became only a utility item. Like, you were happy to build this on a Lulu or a Sona, but not so much the damage carriers. So what we've done is we've lowered the amount of mana you got per auto from 8 to 5. Also makes it very easy to calculate. But you also get 30 AP. So now, if you put a Shojin on an Ao Shen, you'll feel alright about it. Maybe there's actually even a Sphere of Shojin Ao Shen build that you're, like, happy with and actually doing some cool damage. So won't be as much of a trade-off now to run Sphere of Shojin. Some other item changes, nothing too big. Archangel's Staff now shows the AP bonus instead of the stacks. It's just more clear that, like, oh, that's 60 AP, not 3. Deathblade gets a buff. With this set and how we want to balance things, we can actually buff AD back a little bit now after the AD changes, so Deathblade gets a buff. Gambler's Blade. This one's interesting, and these numbers may change, but Gambler's Blade basically was the least fun Shimmer scale. You know, you would drip feed 1 or 2 gold per fight if you were lucky, and it just really was never nearly as exciting as, say, Draven's Axe, or even the needlessly big gem, which gave you that Ascension power. So what we're doing here is we're actually lowering the base AP and attack speed a bit. It goes from 30 to 10, so not a bit, a lot. But we're doubling the amount of gold it drops. So this should be a big swing to make Gambler's Blade something you're actually excited to get in the early game. Ionic Spark, we removed the aura item tag. It wasn't actually doing anything. Last Whisper gets 10% attack speed. That should make it a little more good to play. You won't feel as bad if you have to put it on, like, an AP user, for example. They'll still get some benefit from it. Rabadon's Death Cap gets a 5 AP buff. No big deal. And now the big one. This is a biggie. Ragewing Emblem, which used to be Spatula plus Bow, is now Swift Shot Emblem. This should be really fun. It's basically super RFC. It's buildable now. And so now your fantasies of, like, Swift Shot Skarner or Swift Shot Olaf should be a lot more fun and easy to achieve. It's transformative. We like transformative emblems. That should be cool. The other big change here, and this one's less transformative, but honestly it's just healthier for the game, is Spatula plus Glove is going to go from Assassin Emblem to Lagoon Emblem. So you'll be able to make another Lagoon champion, which gives you that AP attack speed. You know, not nearly as transformative, but the reality is we don't want Assassin Emblem to be quite so buildable and easy to achieve. Kind of like Whisper's Emblem, we want it to be something you rarely get and can power spike, not we have to balance all these champions around it. Assassin Graves in particular, very good, by the way, if you can ever pull it off. Now, Ragewing Emblem has just been removed from the game. It's gone. It's a trap emblem. No one ever found a really good use for it, and we get it. Being monolocked for 4 seconds is just not really good, so it's gone. Assassin Emblem is still around. It's just an elusive emblem now. So, you know, you can still get it through augments, Tome of Traits, things like that. It's just going to be a lot less common. Speaking of augments, augments wasn't a big focus for us this mid-set. Augments are generally in a pretty good place, and honestly we want to spend a little more time balancing what we have versus making a bunch of new ones, but we did make some changes that are worth talking about and definitely put some time in, and there's some fun stuff in here. Alright, first off, Assassin Crest, that's the gold one, gone. Again, with it being an elusive emblem and being balanced around that, too easy to get. You can still get the emblem via the prismatic, much like the, you know, Whisper's emblem example, but not at gold. High Roller is gone for a couple reasons, kind of like Golden Ticket before with Astral. High Roller does some pretty wonky stuff with Namzi in particular, so High Roller's gone. Makeshift Armor and Meditation. These augments are fine, they're just they need a break right now. They're not really the most exciting traits, and meditation in particular, when it's good, is like really unhealthy. So we're taking these out for now. They may be back at a future date. Phony Frontline, same thing. It's nothing bad, just taking it out for now, doing a rotation here. Dragon Alliance and Horde, pretty redundant since you can play as many dragons as you want, so they're gone. We've re-added Golden Ticket. With Astral gone, Golden Ticket can come back. If you want Golden Ticket for those rerolls, it's back. Woohoo! Battle Mage is back. Now, Battle Mage was never one of the most fun augments, but it's been a little different this time. Instead of just AP, you actually get armor in AP. So you can run those frontline AP comps. Things like Shyvana work really well with this. But yeah, definitely check that out. Jace is another one you can run with this. It's really good. But yeah, so kind of like best friends, but frontline. Cool. Binary airdrop gets a small buff. You get an extra component. No big deal. Cluttered Mind. We tried it at 3. It was underpowered. We tried it at 4. It was overpowered. So we're going back to 3, but we're buffing it by helping you fill your bench a little. So when you get it, you'll get 3 tier 1 champions. So that'll help you start to fill your bench. You can get to that Cluttered Mind state quicker, but it doesn't really need to be as good as it is right now in live. Knife's Edge is back. There's a lot of champions this set that can use it, with Warriors being better. Knife's Edge can be pretty good. We've lowered the AD quite a bit. Knife's Edge 1 was pretty wonky, but Knife's Edge is back if you want to try it out. Penitence was a augment that basically no one ever took. It's back, but now it also makes your Jade emblem or your Jade augment explosions do 100% more damage. Should be a sizable buff if you want to run 7 Jade, have those 3 things in the front line and do some big damage. That can work really well. Reckless Spending has been changed to Pay to Win. Yes, if you saw my tweet causing a panic about adding Pay to Win at TFT, I was trolling. We're just adding Pay to Win because it's an augment. Basically, Reckless Spending was too hard to play. Spending 6 gold a turn was way too high an ask. Now all you have to do is press refresh once. No big deal. And if you press refresh once, everyone who's a Shimmer Scale or holding a Shimmer Scale item gains 35% extra damage. Should be a lot easier to use. Still only appears on 3-2. Also remember, Shimmer Scale's a lot easier to slot in now, so it should be good. And then finally, the one I'm the most excited for, Kent did some really good work here with Woodland Charm. Woodland Charm is back. It's a prismatic, but the rules have changed. The clone now spawns during planning phase. So right away, you have a clone that you can move around, you can position, you can do whatever you want from it. And the clone has the exact same base stats as the cloned units, benefits from all of its traits, but it just can't hold items. That's the only difference. So for example, if you have a 2-star Siphon and you get Woodland Charm, guess what? You have 2 2-star Siphons. It still clones the unit with the highest HP, but especially with dragons, I think this augment's really good and really fun. And so having that extra clone can do some pretty cool things. And again, it benefits from traits. It's just like a normal unit. So let us know if Woodland Charm's a lot better this time around. Alright, like I said, we didn't add a ton of new augments, but here's the full list. Nothing crazy here. I'm just going to run through these pretty quickly. Lagoon Heart, you know, +1 Lagoon. Darkflight Heart, +1 Darkflight. Soul Siphon. Darkflights benefit from the topmost trait of the sacrificed unit. It does not increase the trait count for that trait. A really interesting example of this is if you sacrifice a Nyla, who is an assassin, or excuse me, it's the topmost, so it'd be Lagoon, then everyone benefits from Lagoon. So you have to figure out that topmost trait and what you can do there. It's kind of a complicated one to use, but give it a Lagoon. So you have to figure out that, or excuse me, it's the topmost, so it'd be Lagoon, then everyone benefits from Lagoon. So you have to figure out that topmost trait and what you can do there. It's kind of a complicated one to use, but give it a try and see what kind of wild combinations you can come up with. Consistency is an interesting one. It doubles your streak gold. So if you can go on a win or loss streak with consistency, you can get a lot of gold here. It's a pretty good econ augment. Birthday present. I think this one's a little OP. We'll see if I'm right. Basically, every time you level up, you get a free 2-star champion. That champion's tier is equal to your level -4. So for example, if you level up to, you go from 3 to 4, you will get a 2-star 1 cost. You go from 4 to 5, you will get a 2-star 1 cost. You go from 5 to 6, 6 minus 4 is 2, you get a 2-star 2 cost. And yes, this means if you can make it all the way to 9, the second you hit 9, birthday present will give you a 2-star 5 cost. So, you know, really good way to spike your board. And I think if you play it right, you can use it to power up your board. It's kind of like true 2s, but less front-loaded. So, give it a try. I think it's really good. All right, Scoped Weapons 1. Your units that start in the back 2 rows gain +2 attack range and 15% attack speed. So, maybe put like your Olaf in the back 2 rows, +2 range. They almost have built-in swift shot. Can do some really fun stuff. Maybe a Skarner. I don't know. I'm looking forward to Scoped Weapons Skarner. Protector of the Cosmos. Your team gains a 30 health shield for every item component equipped on Astral Champions. Basically, it turns Astral into scrap. Pretty fun. Darkflight Crest, you get a Darkflight Emblem. Darkflight Emblems are really fun because remember they get that bonus health, so it's almost as powerful as a Warmog's, and they get the bonus item from the Darkflight Sacrifice. So Darkflight Crest is pretty fun. Alright, Dragon Imperialist. This is one of the new ones here. If you only have one dragon, your dragon will execute enemies they damage who are below 25% health, gaining Nomzi. So, if you're willing to only run one dragon, that dragon can execute. Really good on things like Deja. Deja's probably my favorite for this. Aurelian Soul's not bad with this. Nomzi's not bad with this. Sohm, actually. If you're running a vertical lagoon with Sohm, this is really good. So, check that out. Dragonmancer Conference. Instead of Mage Conference, we have Dragonmancer Conference. After player combat, a random Dragonmancer appears on your bench. If you've ever wanted 6 golden Dragonmancers, here you go. Hero in Training. The Dragonmancer nearest to the Dragonmancer hero gains 50% of the Dragonmancer's bonuses. This one's really fun, right? You run 6 Dragonmancer. Maybe you put the hero as Lee Sin. He's got all those bonus stats. Stand him next to the Volibear. The Volibear gets half those bonus stats. You got a powerful team. Lagoon Crest. You get a Lagoon Emblem. High Tide. Until they cast twice, Lagoon champions have 30% reduced attack speed, but gave 12 mana per second. So this helps them cast quite a bit. Fill up that Sea Stone. Pretty fun. Oasis. Every 5 seconds, Lagoon champions remove all negative effects on themselves and heal for 18% of their missing health. So pretty cool there. Essence Theft. Mages attacks drain 8 mana from their target and gain half the drained mana. So if you want to run mages and need some mana, that's a pretty cool one. Base Camp. Scale Scorns gain 8% damage each time they start combat in the same hex, stacking up to 4 times. So if you remember Sniper's Nest, it's Sniper's Nest for Scale Scorn. Cool. You get the 4 rings, you get some power, should be good. And then Terrify. Your units take 15% less damage from enemies shrunken by Whispered Champions. Cool. Finally, we have the Prismatics, and there's some fun ones in here. We get to start off right away with, I think this one's wild, but here it is. Thief's Gloves will always give your champions the items that they can use well. So if you put a Thief's Gloves on an Itis, you will always get some combination of like Warmogs, Bramble, Dragon Claws, Gargoyle Stoneplate, Redemption, stuff like that. It makes your Thieves Gloves super items. Then you gain a Thieves Gloves. Get this augment on 2-1, build as many Thieves Gloves as you can. You will have a very powerful, efficient team. Fun stuff. Woodland Charm we already talked about. Scoped Weapons 2, same thing, but infinite range. You ever want an Olaf or a Skarner with infinite range? Scoped Weapons 2. Part-Time Assassins. The Assassin trait grants its bonuses to your champions that start combat in the back 2 rows. So what you can do is you can run 2 or 4 Assassin, put an Itis in the front line, put everyone else in the back line, doesn't matter their traits, and they will all jump to the back line and do some cool stuff. So give that a try. Darklight Crown, Darklight Emblem, Giant Slayer Rengar. Age of Dragons. If you only have dragons, meaning you're running only dragons, nothing else, every 5th attack from a dragon fires a Dragon Soul Blast. For those of you that played back in set 4, remember that Dragon Soul Blast that would deal magic damage equal to 15% of their target's mass health. And here's the wild part. When you get this augment, it gives you a Nomzi, a Zippy, and a random tier 4 dragon. This can only happen at 3-2, but what this means is right away at 3-2, level 6, you've got a 3 dragon comp. You've got a 3 dragon comp, and they're firing these Dragon Soul Blasts. And so, if you want to run a dragon vertical comp, this is pretty fun. Dragon Soul, your team counts as having one additional dragon. This is really powerful because remember, 4 dragon basically gives you a +1 army slot. So being able to get to that with only 3 dragons, very powerful here. And that opens up a lot of cool comps here. So if you can get Dragon Soul, definitely consider it. Lagoon Crown, gain a Lagoon Emblem. And then Ragewing Soul, this is just a rework because instead of a Ragewing Emblem, you get +1 Ragewing. You get the Ginsus and you get the Rakan. So yeah, like I said, not a ton of new augments or anything, but I think a few fun ones here. Woodland Charm's my personal favorite. I really like that one. Scoped Weapons is also a lot of fun, so definitely check them out. And that's it. That is the rundown. We made it through. Obviously, there's lots. Oh my.
I want you bad, yes so bad. 불러줘 and I'll never go away. 정말에 I'm so bad. 정말에 I'm so bad. 난 네가 필요해. 내 머리 내 머릿속에 너로 가득해 baby. 처음부터 I want you so bad. 멈출 수 없어 널. 내 머리 아파. 너 never 숨기지 못해. 햇살은 눈부셔. I got my shades on. 공기는 포근해. The ocean is so blue. You know I like the feel. 모든 걸 맡긴 채. That's right, yeah, I like it, I like it, yeah. 꾸미지 않아도 괜찮아, what? 멋부리지 않아도 지금 좀 급하다고 편하게 입고서 hurry. 어딘가 멀리 떠나자 빨리. We need a little break, yeah. We need a break. 모두 다 잊고서 잠깐 숨을 돌려. Feel little stress. 모든 걸 내려놓을 때, yeah. 자연은 바로 옆에 우리가 느끼는 곳에. 아무 방해 없는 곳으로 just drifting. Adventures turn off the phone. 아무 생각 말고. 햇살은 눈부셔. I got my shades on. 공기는 포근해. The ocean is so blue. You know I like the feel. 모든 걸 맡긴 채. That's right, yeah, I like it, I like it, yeah. Open the window, 속도는 rollo. 상쾌한 바닷가 마를 만족한 도로. 특별할 게 없어도 시간이 내. 절대 망설이지 마. You gotta go on. 가끔은 좀 아무것도 안 나는 게 필요할 때가 있어. 다들 착각을 해. 너무 많은 생각, you're gonna burn out. You know it's your time, you better go out. 너무 팽팽, 그래 everyday. listen 내게 좀 let's chill and refresh. 너무너무 먼 미래는 아직 몰라도 there ain't nobody's perfect. 시간은 또 달아나. 아무리 발버둥을 쳐봤자 에이 모든 건 뜻대로 되지 않아. 괜찮아 네 탓이 아니잖아. 햇살은 눈부셔. I got my shades on. 공기는 포근해. The ocean is so blue. You know I like the feel. 모든 걸 맡긴 채. That's right, yeah, I like it, I like it. Telling you boys and girls, this is just how we do. Want you to know, you know that this is just how we do. Telling you boys and girls, this is just how we do. Want you to know, you know that this is just how we do. Same. 우리들의 마음은 같아. 달라질 건 없을 것 같아. 애써 시간만 끌어보자. Baby I don't wanna waste my